Alright, into the swamp. And starting off with the magic pots. So, the magic pot is, of course, completely invincible until given an elixir, even from death effects like game over. Mech elixirs do not work, it has to be a regular elixir. They give massive AP, XP, gil, and a turbo ether with every kill. Will only say gimme if not attacked, even after being attacked once. When attacked, they have a 1/4 chance to steal something, or if he has already stolen something, it does the attack, but nothing is stolen, and a 1/16 chance to run away. I always thought the Magic Pod had a better chance to steal rare stuff like ultimate weapons than like the bandits at the start of the game, but in reality, it just feels like a better chance because you have better stuff at this point in the game. And also, here is the concept art. And one funny thing about the concept art is it shows little feet underneath the pot, which you normally don't see. But if you've ever seen this thing run away, when it does its runaway animation, it actually like pulls its feet out from underneath the pot and like runs away. Which we can show, but I have to make sure we save first before we show that, because they might steal something. So remind me when we put down the save point. We'll try to get a magic pot to run away. Yeah, they can run away when you pincer. They just run through you, I believe. Thank you, Airibarius. Appreciate you, man. I was afraid of this. So this is the Alamagni, who has an infamous pincer attack in this area that has killed many of my challenge runs slash grinding sessions. One of the most dangerous pincer attacks in the game, because most of these guys' attacks are physical damage, and they'll do extra damage because it's a pincer attack. This is one of our last, maybe our last guidebook enemy, because in the guidebook the Alamagni is misspelled Alamange instead of Alamagni. Alamange. Clappy in the chat for the guidebook. Also, the name entirely is a mistranslation of Ahriman, which you've probably seen before in other Final Fantasy games. He has level 4 Death and level 3 Flare as magic counters, and is also level 48, so with Manipulate, he can be killed by his own ability. And, so actually, I'm really glad that we got the pincer attack, because there's a funny quirk with the pincer attack. I need to make sure I don't die, though, so let me throw, like, a hero drink and a mega elixir. Oh, I only have one mega elixir. Okay, throw an elixir. Throw down a cure 3, maybe. Throw a hero drink on you. Okay, we should be good, I think. Alright. Just to make sure we don't die while I'm trying to set this up. Okay, so as I said, if you manipulate one of these guys, and then you use level 4 death on yourself on himself, he's level 48, so he will die to level 4 death. But there's a weird quirk specifically with the pincer attack, where if you manipulate one of these guys and have him use level 4 death on himself in the pincer attack, this'll happen. So he's dead, but his model didn't disappear. It's just there for the rest of the fight. And if we do the same on this guy, he'll die, but this guy's still here. Just chilling out. So yeah, that only happens in the pincer attack. Which is the only one that there's 2 of them, so I think that's why. Ooh, nice. We got the rare. We got the rare fight out of the way. So this is the Mover. The Mover is a rare enemy. He only shows up in the swamp area, and it's only a 4.69% chance to get this fight. They are the only enemy in the game that doesn't give XP on defeat, but they give even more gil and more AP than magic pots, and they don't require an elixir to kill. They also have turbo ethers as a steal, but they also always drop a turbo ether, so there's no reason to steal one. They morph into protect rings, and they're the only infinite source of protect rings, since the only other protect ring you get is the one you steal from Shizo. Even though they have an incredibly simple design, they surprisingly have concept art. And I'd like to point out, whoops, didn't mean to do that. I'd like to point out in this concept art, look at how cute this concept art is. The cutest thing ever in any of the concept arts is that they put a little mover in the word mover as the O. I mean, come on. That's just like, come on. The attention to detail on a concept art. And they even show like the triple attack too, which is cool. And yeah, they have a pretty unique attack, which is a reference to the Magus Sisters. Magus Sisters? Is that right? This attack here. That they can only use if all 3 of them are alive. Delta attack, I think, right? Other than that, they kind of just bounce around. And you kill them, and you get a bunch of money. And that's pretty much it. Kind of just a bit of a bonus battle. It would be cool, and a ton of AP, even more AP than the magic pots. And 3 turbo ethers. It would be cool if the Delta attack actually did like a ton of damage, and you had to kill one of them really fast to stop them from doing it, but it doesn't do that much damage. It just looks cool. More magic pots. I would love to take that AP, but to keep things interesting, I won't. And I think we have just one more enemy in here now. Technically two, but one more encounter. There they are. This is Christopher and Gighe. Who's a really cool fight. So Christopher has a very strange sadness and fury mechanic. He has a move called High-Low Suit that is supposed to give you either fury or sadness, but it only ever gives you sadness. It is also only ever used if you already have fury. So, I don't know. Dumb AI again. It is also always used twice, taking you all the way from fury to sadness. Gighe gives fury, then Christopher gives sadness. Then if Gighe doesn't get rid of your sadness, Christopher will use Suffocation Song and kill you instantly. So there was supposed to be like Christopher either gives you sadness or fury, and then Gighe can give you sadness, but then if the High-Low Suit doesn't give you fury again, then Christopher auto-kills you with Suffocation Song. But because the AI doesn't work right, it just always gives you sadness, so it's actually kind of dangerous because it'll instantly put you into sadness, even if you're in fury, because he always uses it twice, and then he'll use Suffocation Song and kill you. Gighe, the Japanese name, is a pun of Gigi, which is a name for a bad horse, and Ziggy, referring to David Bowie's alternate ego, Ziggy Stardust. So yes, this is a reference to David Bowie. This is why Gighe has a guitar for a tail, and both him and Christopher have music-related attacks. So if you go into the enemy thingy here, and we look at Gighe, am I spelling his name wrong? G-I-G. Do they not have him in here? That's weird. Huh. I guess they don't have him in the enemy thing. Wonder why not. Maybe it's spelled wrong? Yeah, it's weird. They don't have him in the model viewer. Wonder if Ultima has him. Well, either way, we can get a nice close-up of him here. If I can find this image here. Hold on. There we go. Here's a nice close-up of him. So as you can see, he's got the guitar tail with almost what looks like a cigarette at the end of it. He's got the crazy vest with the stars on it. He's got the crazy hair. It does look like a cigarette. I don't know if it's supposed to be, but that's what it looks like. Does it look like a cigarette to you? It's his tail. His tail is a guitar. So there you go. David Bowie, The Enemy. All right. Giggy also has a lesser-known move that kicks a party member from the fight. So yet another enemy that can kick you from the fight. But he doesn't use it very often. And if we let Christopher put us in sadness, maybe we can see Suffocation Song. There's High-Low Suit. So yeah, this is supposed to put you in either sadness or fury, but it only ever does the sadness one. Red 13 is immune to it for some reason, though. I think... Yuffie's also going to be immune to sadness because of Ribbon. Cloud can get sadness, though. Let's see if he does it. Okay, so this is gonna miss, but he's already in sadness. So maybe now this will get his AI to use Suffocation Song. There it is. So yeah, pretty spooky move. Suffocates you to death with the sound of his music. And yeah, the David Bowie reference is really cool because there's a lot of references in this game, like I mentioned before, to like rock artists and just music in general. So although it does seem really bizarre and random that there'd be a David Bowie reference here, it's actually kind of fitting in relation to all the other references in the game. And yeah, like I said, his name in Japanese is a combination of Bad Horse and Ziggy, which I guess makes sense. It's kind of weird, but... Hey, good to see you, Gibson. Alright, that's everybody in this area. Now we have some enemies in this area. No, we got more than that. I said North Crater has a lot of enemies. We still got like 5 more enemies to go. And here's one of them, the Master Tonberry. So the Master Tonberry has the most HP for a normal enemy in the entire game, 44,444, which is specifically because 4 is known in Eastern Asian cultures like Japanese, Chinese, and Korean as the number of death, because the word sounds similar to the word death. You've probably heard before about like hotels skipping the 4th floor and stuff like that in some Asian countries. So yeah, the number of his HP is the number of death. As an extra prank on the player, gravity not only doesn't work on Tonberry, but he actually absorbs it. The Tonberry's knife can be avoided with Death Force, a safety bit, or resist, just like with the regular Tonberry. Other than moving every turn, he also has a counterattack that goes off if you attack him twice before he gets his own turn. So similar to the Tonberry, with the time attack that went off if you attack him 3 times before he gets a turn. If you ever wondered how his counter works, it's if you attack him 2 times before he gets a turn. The counter, Everyone's Grudge, does damage equal to the amount of enemies that character has killed throughout an entire playthrough, times 10. And it deals static damage, meaning it will always do that exact amount of damage regardless of defense and other effects. And of course, he can be morphed into a ribbon. So, if you want an easy way to beat the Master Tonberry, throw Death Force on everybody. So that his knife doesn't work. And then only attack him after he moves. So, attack him once. Wait until he moves. Then attack him again. Wait till he moves. Attack him again. So on and so forth. And he'll never counter you. And his knife won't kill you. And you'll get a free win. Yeah, you can use a vaccine as well. Now, we are going to attack him twice, so we can check out Everyone's Grudge, because it's a cool move. And Cloud's just going to dodge it, because he's the GOAT. He dodged it because he has a misstyle. Just misstyle things. So that means that Yuffie has killed 100 enemies throughout the game. And there we go, there's a ribbon. I always found it funny that the materia that's in the big shiny area is just counter, which is still a good materia. But W Magic is hiding off to the top there. Yes, Vaccine is actually a really good item. It gives you resist, which if you put on something like Haste, you will keep it for the rest of the fight, because it keeps you from losing good status effects and gaining bad ones. So resist is very good, but it also gives you immunity to death effects. Stop talking Red 13. Talk to the giant Moogle. Thank you. We already passed the Secret Cow level. I did not do the Secret Cow level this time. Alright, so we'll backtrack, check out the last couple enemies, and then we'll save Sephiroth for next week. Which actually works out pretty nicely. No, regen and barrier will still run out. What I mean by can't lose them is like if an enemy tries to like cast the reverse or I don't think it protects against Dispel. But like if you cast haste on yourself and then resist and then they cast slow on you, you won't get slowed. Alright, the King Behemoth. The King Behemoth has a ton of HP, is resistant to gravity, and has high magic resistance, and counters all spells with Comet 2. So he is basically the anti-magic enemy, which is pretty cool. The Dark Dragon is also kind of the anti-magic enemy. He doesn't resist magic in any way, but he can counter with Ultima. But this guy's like the king of anti-magic. However, he is not resistant to any ailment in the game, so a single Bad Breath or Hades just wins the fight. He also has Flare on his Manip table, but he never uses it himself. And he's also level 60, so both level 5 Death and Suicide works. I would like to show off both the Comet counter and the Flare. So here's the Comet counter. Not just Comet, but Comet 2. And it does a lot of damage. And then here is Flare, which he never uses otherwise. Whoa, that was weird. And then I'll show off Bad Breath, which just completely wins this fight. Boop. That's a confused, poisoned, minied, asleep frog. Also silenced. So kind of funny that the anti-magic enemy can be defeated by a single magic attack. Hades basically does bad breath, yeah. I think Hades will paralyze, bad breath will not. I'm not sure if there's anything else that it does. Hades is better, I know that. I just don't know exactly how better. Hades also does damage, and bad breath doesn't. Hades does a lot of damage. Here we go. Here's our final golem enemy, the armored golem. So armored golem is a strangely complicated battle, not surprising, having 5 different stat tables based on his row and whether or not he's in defense mode. So on his turn, he can move forward or move backwards, and there's 5 different rows he can be in, and they all have different stat tables and different attacks. And then on top of that, he also has a defense mode that he can go into, which also changes stuff he can do depending on which row he's in. He also has a super powerful Megaton Punch attack that he only uses when he's in the front row. And he can also be morphed into a guard source, but there's a lot of better places to get guard sources. So let's let this guy get into the front row so he can whack us with a Megaton Punch. And then probably try to hit Cloud and miss because of the misstyle. Oh, he's coming. There it is. He actually hit him. I'm surprised. Didn't do a lot of damage, but he hit him. And there's his defense mode. Oh yeah, does he have the same crest? Of course he dies right when I ask. Let's see. He has the same crest. I think it's different colors, though. I think it's different colors. But yeah, same crest. Okay, I think that's everybody other than the left path enemies. The crest doesn't reference anything. It's just a cool coat of arms looking crest. All right. This is Pollen Salta. Pollen Salta is similar to Snow. She will use Fascination on any target, unlike Gem Nesmi, who only does it on male characters. She has Fire 1 but never uses it. She uses Fire 3 instead. And she's the only source in the game for the Angel Whisper enemy skill, and must be manipulated since otherwise it'll only cast it on itself. And if you've never seen, Angel Whisper is a fantastic enemy skill. It will revive and fully heal, so it can be used on a dead or alive party member. and is a great source of revive on enemy skill. Feels like this fight was specifically just for this enemy skill, because otherwise she doesn't really do much. She can maybe confuse somebody at a bad time and cause some issues, but other than that, she don't do much. It's not like Fire 3 is very scary at this point. We also have this fight with her and the parasites. Howlin' Salta and the Parasites, my favorite band. Here's the Malbro I was talking about at the beginning of the game, who's pretty funny because he has the stats of a regular Malbro. They never made like a great Malbro, so he just dies in one hit and doesn't do much. They obviously wanted to make some kind of Malbro enemy, but just ran out of time. And here is the Death Dealer. So as mentioned before, Death Dealer's entry in the Brady Games Guide is listed as Deathclaw instead. We showed that off during the Deathclaw fight, I believe. Death Dealer is the only source in the game for the Kiss of Death item, which auto-kills all enemies with a better chance than the death spell. So it's actually a really good item if you want to just get through like random encounters fast. He uses tarot cards, Star, which double casts physical damage, Sun, which always inflicts silence and darkness, World, which always inflicts stop, Hidden One, which always inflicts death and only targets members with stop, and Emperor, which is supposed to heal Death Dealer, but for some reason they made Death Dealer immune to healing, so instead it just heals 0. And you can also use the ability Roulette, but he only uses it as a counter while already being under 25% HP, so manipulating him to learn it is much better. He also has Fire on his table, but he never uses it. So first off, let's manipulate... Well, actually, let's wait on that. Let's check out all the cards. Kind of weird that this guy's Death Joker is worse than the original one, because you have to be stopped first before he'll use it. Whereas the other one, you could just randomly get it. So here's Star. It just, it does physical damage, and he always uses it twice. Which is weird, because it kind of ruins the gimmick of the card thing. He's supposed to, like, pull a card, and it's supposed to be a random card. But with Star, he just pulls 2 Star cards. It, like, doesn't make any sense. I guess he stacked the deck. And also with the Death one only happening when you're already stopped, it kind of ruins the whole pick a random card gimmick. But hey, whatever. How's it going, Marsh? He uses Yu-Gi-Oh! Rules, yeah. It also tells you what the card is before it flips. So really, they're just attacks. This guy's not like the other guy where he pulls random card. Like, he just has attacks, they just happen to be cards. Alright, let's speed this up so we can see other attacks, because he's going to take forever. He really likes Star. Okay, he just wants to use Star forever. Alright, I give up. Brother doesn't want to use any of his cool moves. Maybe we should deal some damage, actually. Maybe that would help. Nope. Still just wants to use Star. There we go. There's Sun. Which does darkness and silence, but 13's immune. I really want him to use Emperor so you can see how stupid it is. Oh, use Roulette. Land on Cloud, please. And he killed himself. Great job. Alright, we'll get him low, and then at least we'll have two of them to do stuff. There's Emperor. Alright, watch closely. They both used it too. Yeah, what a great attack. It's supposed to heal him, but they accidentally forgot to make him able to be healed. So it just does nothing. Great job. And then I think that's... Is that all of them? We haven't seen World yet, or Hidden One, because no one stopped. See if we can get him to use World. Oh, there it is. Right when I started to speed it up. Now let's see if he Hidden Ones Yuffie. Nice. So there you go. There's all of them. Which hidden one's kind of wild, by the way. Kind of wild looking. So yeah, pretty scary. They stop you and then kill you, but the previous version of this enemy could just kill you, so... whatever. Now we need to get a roulette to land on Cloud. Good luck. Oh. Nice. Sometimes you can tell what roulette's going to land on because the camera zooms in on the person that's getting hit. Roulette's pretty strong, yeah. It hits 100% of the time, I think. But you don't know who it's hitting. But I think it always works. Speaking of which... Alright, cool. Thank you. Yeah, it probably would have been, it would have been cool if Hidden One actually like kicked you from the battle instead of killing you. That would have made it extra scary. And it looks like it's supposed to, but it doesn't. No, Death Force will stop roulette, I believe. And now we have one more enemy, I believe. Alright, I'll remind you during lunchtime. Also remind me to do the Tonberry thing. What was I gonna do? Wait, now I forget what... Oh, no, the magic pot thing. Remind me to do the magic pot thing. So we're looking for one more enemy. Pretty rare encounter. Rarest encounter in here, I think. Yeah. This might be him. Nope. Go ahead and use that. Oh my god, Red 13's runaway animation. It was like 2 frames. Just up, down, up, down, up, down. I hope we can survive. I was gonna say I might throw on sadness, but those guys just gave it to me, so we're good. Do I have any other HP pluses? Can I end up buying any? No. Maybe I'll remove some magic materia. Oh, not the death dealer pincer. Frickin' roulette fest. No thanks. It's actually interesting. I ran in between the 2 star casts. I guess it works like W item where you can interrupt. Come on, where are you at? Does he show up more over here? No, but he does show up here. That's gotta be him. Yeah, alright. So here is the dragon zombie. The dragon zombie, just like the dark dragon and the parasite, has 2 learnable E-skills, Shadow Flare and Pandora's Box. Shadow Flare is used more based on missing HP, and Pandora's Box is only used as a death attack and only used once per save file. So you only ever see it once. He uses it once and then never again on that save file. If Dragon Zombie is petrified, it will not use Pandora's Box, but the next Dragon Zombie will still use it. If you could fight Genova Synthesis and then return, you could actually see a second Pandora's Box because the fight uses the same global variable. So there's a global variable that flips whenever you see Pandora's Box. and then it says, like, never use Pandora's box again. But when you fight Genova, it flips that variable. So technically, if there was a way to beat Genova and then get back without fighting Sephiroth and ending the game, you could then see Pandora's box again, which is a really weird detail. Dragon Zombie is also the only infinite cauldron farm. The only other cauldron item you get is a reward for the final submarine game at the Gold Saucer. And can be instantly petrified with White Wind. So if you don't want to fight this fight, which it is a pretty scary fight, you can just use White Wind for an instant win. But we don't want to do that because we want Pandora's box. Pandora's box is extremely powerful and ignores defense. So we need to make sure we are fully prepared for it. Yeah, Pandora's box is really an anomaly. Makes it really cool, though. Makes it a really memorable attack. Yeah, he's a zombie as well. You can insta-kill with healing stuff. Or you can use healing stuff to damage him. Here we go. Yep, hits everybody, ignores magic defense, does a crap ton of damage. But magic barrier does help. And so does the mistile. And with that, I believe we have a mastered enemy skill materia. Every single enemy skill in the game. There it is. Clappy in the chatty. All right, so this will be a perfect stopping point. Allow my voice to come back, and next week we will do the final boss dungeon, which we do have another enemy to talk about, actually, because there is an enemy that only shows up in the final boss gauntlet. And then we have Genova, and then we have Sephiroth, and then we have the weapons. So that'll be perfect for next week. We are going to move over to the Final Fantasy X challenge. We're not ending the stream yet. Still have the Final Fantasy X challenge to do, but this will be it for the enemy trivia challenge today. So let's say goodbye to YouTube. YouTube, thank you so much for watching the enemy trivia challenge. This has been such an incredible challenge. I've said it every week, but this really is one of the coolest challenges we've ever done. So many people have reached out and said that they love this challenge. So many people have come over from Twitch, or come over from YouTube to Twitch to watch this live, and I really appreciate you guys being here. A lot of people have joined the Patreon from this challenge, so thank you guys so much for all the support. I could not do stuff like this without your support, whether it just be joining the Patreon or buying a Touch Me F mug, or just being around and watching and being a part. So thank you so much for any support you've given, whether or not you've supported financially or just watched this series to the end. Hopefully next week will be the last week, and we'll finish off the final bosses and the weapons. But thanks again for being a part of this playthrough, and we'll see you in the next episodes of the Final Fantasy VII Enemy Trivia Challenge. Peace.